Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sunburst Reacts, where today I want to go over a video, well, not so much a video, but a channel, Lethal Blondie, who a lot of people in the community have been looking at her as a third party had gone to her, but I had seen she'd been around. This third party had gone to a few other reaction channels and had been saying, I have information about Chantal, Foodie Beauty, and some potential legal issues that have been going on, potentially, allegedly, that have been going on behind the scenes with YouTube, with the Canadian Royal Mounted Police, the Canadian Tax Services, banks, PayPal, Interpol, allegedly, and wanted to share that stuff with share that information out to the community. There's been a lot of pushback from this in the community, and what I wanted to take a look into is Lethal Blondie has put out a statement kind of detailing her experience with the community, this third party, and how a lot of people are calling what she has to say a lot of BS. So I want to take a look at her statement and see and react to it, but also give my own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, because a lot of what's being said in this, personally, I run another YouTube channel covering Chantal, all about tarot, and a lot of the stuff that's being brought up in this post, I have personally said or felt in a lot of my tarot readings, or things kind of line up in that way. So I want to take a look at this, put in my own 2 cents, and yeah, so without further ado, let's take a look into what Lethal Blondie has to say, and then the third-party channel who had reached out to Lethal Blondie also has some comments in here as well, explaining why they reached out to the community and going from there. So let's take a look. But first things first, I have it pulled up here, but remember, I do want just to remember, don't go sending mean, nasty, hateful comments to anyone that we talk about here, whether that's Lethal Blondie, Foodie Beauty, any associated individuals. We're just here to take a look at the content, put my own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions out there. And again, I don't know I don't talk to these people personally, one-on-one, in the background, anything. These are just my opinions. So with that, again, I don't have any facts. I know jack shit. I just am reacting here on the interwebs. So let's take a look. I'm going to let's zoom in and take a look. So the first things that we've got here. So greetings from Lethal Blondie. I have been put in a position where I've received so much hate for sharing information from a third party. I've been told to F off, shut the F up. I've been called a liar, been told I'm gatekeeping, and have had my integrity questioned, which is weird because I've tried to be as transparent as possible. I've also noticed that I was putting together a video of all the receipts provided to me by this individual once I received them. We were discussing the content and structure of the video to ensure that their identity was obscured, the structure was in the works, and the visuals were coming together. See picture 1 and 3, and we'll look down at those. So first things first, the person in question, I think their handle is like Little Blue Smurf. They are in the comment section. Their comment is pinned. There were this individual, Lethal Blondie was not the first person I know that this person had reached out to. They were going to other individuals in the community. I think Rose Thorn Reacts was one of them, and Falafel Reacts was another one as well. So Lethal Blondie was not the first person nor the second person where all this information, where this individual was reaching out to potentially give out these receipts. Looking here as well with Lethal Blondie, I know she's newer to the community, and this community has a lot of PTSD, some would say. A lot of, there's a lot of distrust in this community. There's been a lot of people saying, oh, I've got the inside tea, oh, I've got the inside scoop, and then they've never delivered. Or it's always been half-assed, as some would say. And so looking at this post, looking at these things, I understand why a lot of people will be like, oh, this isn't going to be real. We don't want to accept that. This is just, as a lot of people call, I'm not saying that what I want to count out is Foodie's behavior. This is just a person online who eats a lot of food that people make fun of. Why? No, she's not in that, all that sort of stuff. She's not in that thing. She's not that smart. That's what a lot of people have been saying. She's just a big person online that we follow, and then they point and they laugh at, and she's just mean to people, so we point and laugh at her. She can't be that smart. And I'm like, girls and boys, she has made enough money on this platform, and she has gone to the Middle East. She's kept a man from the Middle East, whether or not that was a contract or not. You still got to admit, that's pretty impressive that she stayed for 3 years. And we know she's had 2 bankruptcies, and she still kept this guy, and whatever. She's kept this guy around for how long? You can't tell me that she's not skilled, or at least smart in some way, shape, or form, to get people to send her money all the time, whether or not that's through rage baiting ways or not. Like, no, she's fooled us so many times before, so what's to say that this isn't happening, right? Personally, in readings that I've done on her, and these are all on my channel, we'll get into some of the claims down below, but I don't think she's as stupid as people think that she is. She's just big, okay? But that doesn't mean she's stupid. All right, so looking into keeping going here on Lethal Blondie's post. So 1, the individual who contacted me told me that they had attempted to contact Chantal first to give her all the receipts about the investigations into her. He had his personal reasons for doing this, which I will not be sharing. And then this person actually went and shared down below. We'll go in their comment. If you go and listen to my video about the SEMA Act at 6.14, you will hear Chantal reply, "You didn't see my passport." Since Chantal blocked this individual, you can't see it in chat what he actually said to her, but a question to ask: who would have access to see Chantal's passport? 2, that same individual posted a comment under my video. See picture 2. This is where I provided him with my email address, and we have been in discussion since the 23rd of October. See pictures 3 and 4. I will not reveal this person's emails to me, as I promised him confidentiality, but I have shown a little of my emails to them. 3, I have now come to the decisions that the hate is not worth continuing down this path. You all now have his YouTube handle. You can search for his comments under my SEMA video. Ask him for receipts or whatever you want to ask him. I am not the only creator that this person has contacted, but I am the only one from what I have seen that he has offered to provide receipts to. Because from what I've seen, every other creator he has reached out to has either ignored those people, or has completely discredited this person's receipts or information, which, coming on the heels of another Girl World creator, Rachel, and her conversations with Emily, Amber's, Lynn Reed's ex, and how that kind of all blew up. There's been a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of people who are distrustful, mistrustful of people who claim to coming in saying, "Oh, I've got the tea." This community has been burned a lot in times before, so I can understand why the community would be like, "This isn't happening, this isn't a thing," when in reality, sometimes we just need to be open to having these conversations, being like, well, what evidence can you provide? And I've heard a lot of people being like, well, this person has their own YouTube channel. Like, why can't they just post stuff on their channel? And then it can go from there. Why hide behind other people, right? Well, what happens when, I don't know. And this is my fight to all of this. I want to know the information. I personally would love to know, right? Because I believe this person. But you know what? A lot of people don't have the same beliefs as me, and that's okay. But I don't know. I trust my readings. I trust my intuition, and I trust the videos that I put out there. And if I'm proven wrong, awesome. If I'm not, but if I'm proven right, well, I have a pretty decent track record. I don't claim to know everything, but there are some videos that are so bang on the money that it's kind of scary. But continuing here. So I am now going to outline everything he has told me about the alleged investigations into Chantal to continue being transparent, as I have planned to be since the beginning. Again, Lethal Blondie has come in. There's no reason to mistrust her, But there's a lot of people who there's no reason to trust you, but there's also no reason to mistrust you. So I think we just need to kind of look like, okay, we've been burned before, but this is someone who's been making content for a while. What reason has Lethal Blondie given to have the community be this mistrustful? And I get that there's larger creators who have done things. I get that there's smaller creators who have done things. I've always said this or said that, and there's been no follow through. To be 100% honest, this is the most follow through I've seen from any content creator in this space in terms of following through with the receipts, the transparency of what they are claiming. Doesn't mean that they are claiming that everything's true. This is just them being an intermediary to share this information. There's a lot of transparency here, and there's a lot of, this must either be the some very, very elaborate troll who's trying to play everything, or maybe there's some truth to the situation. But let's go into the allegations. So what is stated from this point forward is alleged. So please use your discernment to determine if this is true. This is not my information, and I'm just being an intermediary. I am passing on what I have been told. Again, same with this video. We don't claim no truth here. We're just passing on information that's been told to us. So Chantal has been under investigation by 5 separate agencies, including the DOJ Canada and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, who have been investigating her for over 30 months. That means over 2 years. I wasn't informed of how long the FBI has been involved. The FBI is involved because a lot of people who donated to Chantal live in the U.S. is from the U.S., from her understanding. Chantal has been investigated by Interpol for just over 12 months, so a little over a year, and the RCMP contacted Interpol to assist their investigation as they found it difficult to obtain reliable information from the Middle East. This time last year, Chantal was in Kuwait, so makes sense. Part of the investigations included recording and watching Chantal's live streams. It was mentioned that some reactors were also being watched, but from what I understand, this was not to investigate them. A lot of her supporters have been caught up in investigations because they have given Chantal money while in a sanctioned country and breaking the law while doing so, and it is a substantial amount of money. Again, if y'all don't know, Syria is under sanctions from the United States government and was for quite a while. And I'm not 100% certain if they still are, because it was based around if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, the Assad regime. So looking at that, taking money, putting it over into Syria, or money being funneled into Syria, if it was going into Kuwait and then into Syria, there might be some sanctions or just some things that aren't all good with that. So these people have been cursorily investigated and kept track of. There is a chance that these people will be contacted as soon as charges and charging decisions and warrants are issued for Chantal. If you are a troll who has sent Chantal money to her in PayPal while she has been living in Syria, I have been told PayPal has been cooperating with these investigations and have been transmitting regular reports to investigators who have tracked everyone. Congratulations, you've played yourself. I was told that Google and PayPal may file their own criminal complaints against Chantal. Remember, when she contacted YouTube and pretended that she was just passing through Syria, there were allegations too, I believe at this time, and I don't believe that this was in here, but there were separate claims made in a post by Tiny Blue Smurf, I believe I saw it in a comment, I believe it was on Rose Thorn Reacts channel, where this person had claimed, again, all alleged, that how Chantal was getting around sanctions with YouTube, was saying that she was living in Lebanon and she was just visiting family in Syria. But I think we're going to go through this because they were just visiting family in Syria. So some of the crimes Chantal is allegedly being investigated for include: A, using an intermediary to withdraw cash on her behalf in Lebanon, a total of 15 different times. B, not declaring funds and or income. Earning income in Syria from countries and companies under strict sanctions. YouTube is an American company. Obtaining and using a false Syrian ID. Supplying a false residential address in Lebanon and in Syria, and declaring it as her residence on a legal government document. To me, this explains why she went via Lebanon instead of flying direct to Syria the first time she flew there, to make it look like she was staying in Lebanon and not in Syria. Interesting. So people are going to be like, well, she didn't have enough okay. I just want to react to these charges really quick. So with her on the behalf of Lebanon 15 times, people are like, well, she hasn't been there that many times. Like, how can she have withdrawn that much money from Lebanon? Like, allegedly, right? That she's like, oh, how could she have gotten withdrawn that much money from Lebanon? I mean, it's only she's only been in Syria since July, August, September, October. So 4 different times, right? So I forget ATMs, right? And I forget about that. Remember, there are certain ATMs, and sometimes ATMs have a certain amount of money you can only pull out of them at a certain amount of time, over a certain period of time. So say someone's going into, say, Lebanon, and they need to withdraw, I don't know, $3,000 is maybe, we'll say she's made $3,000 a month off of her YouTube channel, right? And she can't access her money through Syria because that's going to cause red flags and alarm bells to go off. So someone goes and gets it for her in Lebanon over the course of 3 days. And so say you need to get $3,000 out of the bank. So say you can get $1,000 one time, you can get maybe $400 the next time, and then you can get $600 the next time, and then you can get $1,000 the next time. Each one of those transactions can be account, from what I understand, with how the charges operate. So each time someone had to withdraw funds from the ATM in Lebanon, that was a charge. So say it's maybe this person couldn't get all the money in one time. So maybe that's why there's 15 different charges, even though she's only been in Syria for 4 months or 5 months, 4 or 5 months. Just something to think about, right? Someone might have gotten it, but it might have taken a few times to get all the money out of the accounts to be brought back to Syria, allegedly. That's each one, from I understand, again, is a charge. So, okay. We're going to keep her moving. So some of these crimes can be charged multiple times, like we said. And I was told that Salah and his relatives have entanglements with the Assad regime. Again, that was the leader group at that time, including his father, who was at one point a senior official in the Assad regime, which makes Chantal's situation even worse. Investigators made a request to PayPal and Google, aka YouTube, to not remove Chantal's account so that investigators could trace donations / payments in order to track the individuals making the donations. Investigators were receiving regular reports from Google and or PayPal of who was donating to her. Her bank has also been sending regular reports to investigators. Interesting, right? So I will say, I'm going to actually pause something really quick because I want to bring up, there is a report on this information with Salah and his family. And I just want to go and find that really quick. So actually, I couldn't find the direct quote, so I won't add it here just because, you know what, if I can't find it, I don't want to add fuel to the fire in that way. But I do just want to add to, with the whole part with Salah and his relatives and have entanglements, allegedly conspiracy, and with that, I'm not sure how much we want to take into if with Salah and his relatives with the entanglement with that. I don't know, but from what we had heard from Chantal, because as we know, Chantal, when it comes to these types of situations, she like especially with political and stuff in the Middle East, it does seem that she follows whatever Salah told her about it. And there were several posts that are now deleted off of her channel that were in support of that regime. So, do I know if it's true? No. Would I be shocked if there were entanglements, if there were things at one point? No, I wouldn't. I know that there's some people who believe that, like, nah, that's not the thing. Again, if people remember from Salah's Facebook before it was taken down, this whole girl, it did say he was from Syria. He grew up in Syria. He was born in Syria. So I don't know what's going on here, but we will see as things kind of unfold. So let's go into the posts, the pictures. Come on, I just want the pictures. Okay, so here is the first picture. The first picture that Lethal Blondie has. So Lethal Blondie went on the 21st or 23rd of October and went under here, and she went, hey, if you want to reach out to me with what you're saying, you can give me the receipts and let's have a talk. Let's confirm things. Let's verify your identity. Let's see what we can get and go from there. This was a post. This this wall of text, this comment was left on several reaction channels. From what I had seen, Lethal Blondie was the only one who actually said, hey, let's have a conversation about what you have to say. Is there verifiable proof? Is there receipts? Is there things going on? A lot of people are saying, well, 50-foot Smurf, why don't you just put something out on your own channel and then we will react to it? That's what a lot of people are doing, or a lot of people are asking and saying. It's like, why use an intermediary, right? I don't know. My question is, why not use an intermediary with somebody's channel or somebody's platform who is bigger? This story can get out there. More people are going to be listening. And we're going to look into Lethal Blondie's, or not, we're going to look into the Dr. Boy or a 50-foot Smurf's comment down below. But the reason why they're doing this, in their words, again, we'll just go to it really quick. Any hate needs to be directed towards myself. I'm the third person who gave Blondie the information, and I will continue to do so with receipts now that I am back to work. Blondie is only reporting what I have said. She is not responsible in any way at all. My only suggestion to those people who think such childish and asinine behavior is okay is to wait until this plays out. As I said, bring your hateful comments towards myself. Blondie, my most sincere apologies to you. The victory lap will be all the sweeter. Okay. And then in a comment down here, 50-foot Smurf, so someone asked, I worked in the legal field for 20 years. My only question, no hate, is why are you disclosing this? Doesn't it put your job in danger? And thank you for your courage. I do hope she sees consequences for her vile behavior. He does respond to this comment. I will expand it. So it says, thank you. The reason I chose to do this is I know she is going to try and bring people into it in an attempt to prove that she did not know what she was doing was illegal. Even now, even though she knew she was even though she was fully aware and aware it was, and she was still asking for donations, knowing it put her donors at risk. Not so much the little donors, but she has a few that have donated large amounts. Wanda, ? We haven't seen her in a while, right? A couple others too. To the point that they were noticed and recorded. My pet peeve is when scammers and criminals bring in innocent people to try and cover their asses. So people are like, well, why not just not make a video? Why not just do this? Why just not do that? So I'm going to play just a little bit of devil's advocate here and be, well, so say you have all this information and your biggest pet peeve is, I don't want this person to keep continuing to grift money from their beezers, their community. And is a beezer really going to watch a 50-foot Smurfs content, channel, video? This person doesn't seem to like, they're just like, I just want to get this information out there. So like them using an intermediary channel or a channel that they feel maybe gives them the time of day would actually work with them and verify them, would have a better chance and or opportunity to get this information out to the Beezers, to get these out to Chantal's community, right? I mean, that's kind of what I would think here. Like, I don't know, if I had all this information about somebody, I can go to my till I'm blue in the face and speak from the fields, but YouTube in its entirety, in its grandiosity of things, people with an established community, people with an established base, their videos tend to explode or go out, and that information is going to get to the people that you want it to get to in a faster, better way. Okay? Okay. So let's go back now that we got like, why did this person do it? Try and attempt to do it this way, right? So again, Lethal Blondie, from what I had seen too, was the only one who actually reached out, being like, well, let's have a conversation. Let's verify you and do what we can. I mean, yeah. So why are you not expanding? I'm struggling here to, okay, that might be the reason why. Are we going to be able to, like, hold on. Okay, apparently they are just cropped. So, okay. So in this screenshot here, she's censoring this person's email. She has gained verification with who they say they are and the evidence and receipts. So they can, then this is them talking about how to structure the video, structure the documents, go from there. So from what we are seeing and the evidence that is being shown and the transparency, the question now is going to be, do you trust Lethal Blondie to say, I verified this person and here's the information that I have? Or are we, so where are we mistrusting? Because from what I'm gathering here, she's verified this person. She's got the verification. That's the receipt right there. And then they're talking about the title, talking about information, and then, yeah, and then talking about their role, their position. Like, apparently a lot of this stuff has been verified. So I don't know what people, and here's the question. People are like, well, we don't want anonymity with people who are making these claims, right? But again, we're having people who are coming out of the woodwork, especially with things that may be of this size and or nature, right? And again, I just going to have this big question for the community. I know some people people aren't going to agree with me, and that's fine. Because some people just, I think, want to see Chantal as this really, really stupid person, when in reality, she's not. Y'all, she's a lot smarter than people give her credit for. Maybe people are, well, she's not book smart. And I'm like, she doesn't need to be book smart. She just needs to be people smart. People can do real dumb things, but they can be smart while they're doing it when they're trying to get something. So it does seem, at least to me, this is like, I have not been given a reason to distrust or mistrust or Lethal Blondie and her, what she has to say, what she has to put out, her verification skills. I haven't had I have not seen anything against that. If people find that, then maybe I can change my stance. But if we can't trust people who want to bring information to the community, and then we have people who are trying to verify this, but trying to maintain their anonymity, then I don't know if we're going to get that information that people always want. But from what I'm seeing here and the stuff that I get, and from what I've seen personally in my readings, heck, I've said Chantal might be Interpol beezing in my videos before on like my separate channel. So like, these claims that I'm seeing, I'm not shocked by. I actually believe a lot of this because I don't know. I read cards. I'm a psychic. This is stuff that I felt that has been going on. Allegedly, conspiracy, whatever. And so like, seeing this, I believe it. But again, not everyone in the community has to. But as they said, it just take a look at what's going to happen and just let the chips lay where they may. So that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to talk about this, as a lot of people, I don't think, believe this. And I want to say, I think I believe this. I'll let the chips lay where they may, but I think we need to look at how we trust people. And I have not been given a reason to distrust Lethal Blondie, and I know this community has been burned time and time and time and time again. And Chantal has gotten away with things time and time again, and you know what? We don't believe that she's going to have her consequences, but maybe, just maybe, she will. And things have been working a lot more than what we think. So with that, that's where I kind of want to leave this. What are your thoughts? Do you believe Lethal Blondie and Tiny Blue Smurf? Do you guys believe this? Do you not? What is it about you that you don't believe? What are these things that are being claimed that you don't think, that you think are being blown or out of proportion? I would love to hear. I would love to discuss. And we'll just keep our eyes peeled, our ears open, and we'll see what comes next. So thank you all again so very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in more videos in the future. So bye.